Hello YouTube, we're working on another axe slash hatchet. I mean, that is big enough to be an axe head. I'd really like to have like about a 2-foot handle on this, one of these, and make another small axe. Because this, I cannot tell you the weight. I wish I had a scale. I could look it up on the internet where I bought it on Amazon, and it should give me the weight, but I may do that, so you know. Okay, we've already filed that. We've showed this stuff in other videos, so we don't want to keep repeating it. We have filed this pretty flat. This ain't a perfect straight edge, but we filed this so this is all flat, okay? Now we put 1/8 of an inch edge on it. That's where these come in handy, okay? See that with Sharpie marker? And we have tested a little bit, slammed it into some wood. You can see where it wore the Sharpie marker. That's why we want to take this off now, okay? Because like I said, we still got that little hump now. So we're going to take this hump off, okay? This one's going to be as thin as possible. Now, I've got about 4 hours into this. Now, can you see that change of color where this was tempered? Now, this is like a $24 one. And you can see it over here. See it? Where it's tempered, different color. See how they dipped it and treated it? And it is whiter here and there. The only problem with this, I'll point it out, is this handle's twisted, okay? You're not going to be able to see it. But yeah, you can. If you can see back in there, let me get up here. If you can see against there, let's try to show you this. Okay, see when the handle's twisted? Goes that way. That means if it twists to the right, either way, it's in your hand. It's going to be off a little bit. There's nothing we can do about that. We're just going to learn to use it. I mean, you get what you get for a handle. I actually thought this might have been a little crooked when it was forged. No, I've studied it. It's all in the handle. When you lay this down on the bench, see that? See it don't touch? Because this handle is twisted down towards the bench. If I go this way, okay, then it brings up like this. Of course, in reality, you're going to have this flat. But believe me, if you lay this flat like this and look how the handle is, and then you lay it flat, and flatten out, look where the handle is, but you have to take it off the bench, it's twisted. But enough of that. Okay, let's get to work. We talked about it now. There's the next project coming up. That's going to be for the neighbor. I'm going to make him do all the muscle work. I have filed on this a lot. And I'm glad I bought this new rough $4 file. I have my 12-inch one that does a fine finish, and we've been going over that trying to finally finish it. So like I said, enough talking, but I mean, these videos may be helpful to somebody who wants to do what I'm doing. Why you have to watch my other videos where I file that hump off, make this perfectly flat, because they all dish in this way. They dish in. You're trying to make it flat this direction with the edge, and don't mess up and get too thick one side, too thin the other. You have to watch what you're doing, just like a knife. Don't do all the sharpening on one side and then flip it over. Do a little bit, flip it over. You know, flip it back and forth. Keep looking at it. I'm down now where I don't have to have this in the vise. Maybe, maybe not. So, I said, way too much talking. It's 4 minutes. Let's get to work. We'll bring you back after we file this out. Okay. Forgive me for blowing out the camera. I don't know if you can see this. See that? Do your edges. This is a 1/2 inch in. I tried 3/8. I don't like the look of it. Even if you have to take and chamfer that over, right? Because you want this flat. You want this flat, the same direction here. You want this all flat right up to that line. You're still going to have another little angle back here, but instead we're working our way back. We tried 3/8. you're not getting enough work done. You're working too small of an area. You're like this, and you're trying. I went a 1/2 inch so I get the file in there real nice. And don't be afraid to use plenty of Sharpie. It comes off with alcohol. See what I mean about working your edges, your corners? Because when you look at this when I'm done, when I show you that nice tapered bullet-shaped edge, it's probably better out here when you look at it than what it actually is in here, because this is always thicker on most axes. So we're going to go back and take our big 12-inch file, the big one, which is more accurate than using this one, and see if we can get a super flat, even edge without taking this line away. And that's just made with my calipers, in case you don't know. And don't be afraid to scrape. These are junk. Look how far the zero's off there. I fixed these. They're just junk. When they get junk, just learn to use a ruler. See, just learn to use a ruler and use them just for a measuring tool, because they're junk. You probably hear me complaining about it enough times if you've subbed to me enough years. They're junk. They were junk when I bought them. Okay, I'm going to snap a photo of this about right like this. Back to work. Okay, we took our big 1-inch file, which is actually about 1.125 inches, and we run it every direction we could. After we took our little one that took the hump out, we've been going every direction. And don't be afraid. See where I chamfered that over? I'm going to make that look really nice so it's even when I'm done. You've got to get rid of that because your file keeps catching that and it won't file out here. So you've got to take that corner off so your file will go flat to the edge. We're starting to expose more of that tempering. I tried it with 3/8 and I decided to go 1/2 inch in. The reason I put 1/8 of an inch edge on here, because the factory one was crap. Oops, excuse me for cussing there, but that's about the only cuss word I use. And there's still a nick in it. See it right in there? So that gave me something to go by. So don't take this away. Don't take your shape away. If you're out here grinding that off, you have to try not to touch that. I mean, you're leaving just a little bit on there. I mean, you can't really see it over here, but there is just a little bit of an edge. See it? There's a little bit of an edge left where I'm not touching it. Sorry that the camera blows that out. Let me try to come up here and get a different angle. Like I said, I could file back here and tell you if it's softer than here, but I already know it is. When I file this, it does feel a lot softer here than out here. Because I really chewed it up. I was really aggressively getting that corner. I was like, whoa, I'm taking long. So it is softer back in here. So for cheap, they did a better job than some places probably do of heat treating and tempering the blade. Because I've never seen this on a newer one. Only on real old ones. And this is not a big name company. I don't get paid to show it. I mean, it's cheap. It was a little more than the other ones. Like I said, was it 23 bucks on Amazon? There you go. Back to work till we're done. There'll probably be too many more clips because I showed you the main basic things to do to try to get it as flat as you can besides putting an edge on it, and that's whatever you want for the final edge. I won't actually have an edge. Mine will be rolled down to a sharp edge. So you will not really see an angle on there where there's an edge. It's just going to come down like I do and roll over it. And I could flip the axe around like I do like this. But I'll take a picture at the end so you can see it. So stay tuned. Hope this is not too boring. I've been doing a lot of these lately. It's just been fun to do. Something to keep me busy. Okay, that's about as pointy as I want to get. This took a lot of work. I've spent several hours on this today. It's about the pointiest I've ever got one. We'll pause and then we'll show you what it looks like. We buffed it with our scrubby wheel. Okay, I know it's going to blow the camera out when it hits, but that's just with the scrubby wheel. Can you see that where it was tempered, that line? Here, we'll let it calm down again. Here, you can see it. I mean, there's still file marks in there, but it's a working tool. If I put bluing on this, it'd be a really nice surface to put the gun bluing on. And I have the super blue. There's two kinds of that brand. I have the super blue, which works better. I watched a video on that. Here's just the nasty side after. And you can see how these are made. See where the file kept skipping in there? You know? I mean, this stuff isn't made perfect. Because it does dish in here. But there you go. Another one done. And I think this is the thinnest one I've made so far. I think I'm going to keep... Don't tell the neighbor, Kit. I think I'm going to keep this one and give him this one. Put a note on there. Careful, this will cut your finger off. Yeah, it's good enough for a working tool. I'm not making these for show or, you know, hang on the wall or nothing. They're going to be used. They're going to be used and abused by the time we're done out there playing with them when the weather gets nicer. So thanks for watching. I'll leave you a couple more photos.